Have you ever wondered which fighter aircraft could successfully inherit the illustrious legacy of the Sword family during the 1950s, an era marked by the gradual descent of the Cold War Iron Curtain and rapid advancements in jet aviation technology, while simultaneously breaking free from the shackles of traditional carrier-based fighters' limited range and operational flexibility? Could it pave the way for the U.S. Navy's carrier-based aviation to embrace a future of multi-role, long-range strike capabilities? The answer to this question may lie within the highly classified project designated Na-208, initiated by North American Aviation in June 1953, the FJ-4 Fury. This aircraft not only achieved multiple technological leaps, but also redefined the tactical concept of carrier-based aviation, marking an epoch-making shift in naval air power. The FJ-4's origins were deeply rooted in the escalating strategic demands of the early Cold War. At the time, the U.S. Navy urgently required a carrier-based aircraft capable not only of protecting the fleet, but also of launching proactive strikes against enemy targets deep within enemy territory. While naval variants like the FJ-2 and FJ-3, PARD, existed, they remained fundamentally air superiority fighters, with range and payload capacities insufficient for the strategic vision of offensive sea control. The Na-208 project targeted this gap with a clear objective: to create a truly multi-role carrier-based fighter. Its design team boldly opted for re-engineering rather than refining. The most revolutionary change occurred in the wings. The FJ-4 abandoned the FJ-3's airfoil derived from the F-86E, adopting an entirely new ultra-thin wing design with a thickness-to-chord ratio of just 6%. This near-extreme design significantly delayed the critical point for transonic shock generation, markedly enhancing high-speed flight stability. Even more ingeniously, the interior of these slender metal wings was meticulously shaped into a massive integrated fuel tank structure, increasing internal fuel capacity by a staggering 50% compared to the FJ-3. This innovation directly addressed the range anxiety inherent in carrier-based aircraft. Without relying on aerial refueling, it enabled not only extended fleet air defense patrols and long-range bomber escort missions, but also deep incursions into enemy territory for ground attack and tactical reconnaissance, achieving a qualitative leap in combat radius. The devil in aerodynamic design lies in the details. To ensure this new wing remained safe and controllable during the extremely demanding low-speed, high angle of attack conditions of carrier landings, engineers added a device known as a dogth, or wing knife, approximately 1/3 along the leading edge. Its function was critical, effectively suppressing premature flow separation at the wingtips, thereby increasing the stall angle of attack by 2 to 3 degrees. This minute margin becomes the difference between life and death in critical moments, granting pilots greater margin for error during precision landing maneuvers near the stall threshold, and significantly boosting landing success rates. Simultaneously, to counterbalance the center of gravity shift caused by fuel layout and optimize high-speed performance, the FJ-4's fuselage was extended by 740 mm. The contour behind the cockpit became more smoothly tapered and sloped, serving not only as the aircraft's most distinctive visual identifier, but also effectively reducing transonic drag. At the tail, the horizontal stabilizer was reduced in size and thickness to decrease control inertia, making pitch response more agile. The vertical stabilizer was enlarged and raised to compensate for potential yaw instability caused by the increased wingspan, ensuring controllability during complex maneuvers like crosswind landings. The cockpit serves as the core of human-machine interaction. The FJ-4 retained its single-seat configuration, but underwent significant internal optimization. An improved ventilation system and more ergonomic seat, particularly with reinforced back support, aimed to alleviate fatigue during extended missions. In carrier operations, the pilot's physical and mental state directly impacts mission success and survival probability. A more comfortable cockpit environment is not a luxury, but a necessary combat capability assurance. The landing gear system has been completely redesigned to withstand the intense shock loads of carrier operations. The main landing gear no longer folds inward, but instead retracts upward along the wing line, significantly reducing drag. Its wheelbase has been widened to 3.5 meters, enhancing lateral stability during takeoff and landing on a rolling deck. An interesting detail is that, thanks to optimized fuel layout improving the center of gravity, the load on the FJ-4's nose landing gear is actually 12% lower than on the FJ-3. This not only reduces tire wear, but also lowers the risk of structural failure during intense catapult launches and arrested landings. Naturally, the wing folding capability was retained and reinforced, featuring additional safety locks to ensure efficient and secure operations on crowded carrier decks. If the FJ-4 was an excellent multi-role fighter, its derivative variant, the FJ-4B, was a true attack aircraft. It clearly marked a fundamental shift in U.S. Navy tactical doctrine, from air control of the sea to sea control of the land. Of the total 221 FJ-4 orders, 71 were directly produced as FJ-4Bs, followed by an additional 151 orders exclusively for the B variant. Underscoring its critical importance, the FJ-4B's key upgrades included reinforced wing structures and 6 weapon pylons, far exceeding the FJ-3's 4, enabling a maximum external payload capacity of an astonishing 1,360 kilograms. This allowed flexible integration of various bombs, rocket pods, and auxiliary fuel tanks. Most strategically, the FJ-4B became the U.S. Navy's first carrier-based aircraft capable of tactical nuclear strikes. To fulfill this ultimate mission, it integrated a complex, low-altitude bombing system. Pilots could fly the aircraft at high speed and low altitude to penetrate defenses, then execute a climb and dive bombing maneuver guided by the system upon target approach, followed by a sharp turn to disengage before the nuclear bomb detonated, greatly enhancing survivability. This provided carrier strike groups with their first reliable means of forward tactical nuclear deterrence and strike capability, offering immeasurable strategic value. Additionally, at the forefront of technological exploration, 2 prototypes modified into FJ-4F variants were equipped with a Rocketdyne or 1 rocket booster engine. Fueled by hydrogen peroxide and JP4, it delivers an additional 22 kilonewtons of thrust. The project aimed to achieve supersonic flight and rapid climb rates without burdening the main engine's afterburner, enabling interception of high-altitude, high-speed bombers like the Soviet Tu-22, Kinkajou. During testing, the FJ-4F achieved a top speed of Mach 1.41 and a service ceiling of 21,600 meters, validating the hybrid propulsion concept. Although ultimately not produced due to system complexity, maintenance challenges, and rapid advancements in pure jet engine technology, the valuable data gathered paved the way for subsequent supersonic fighters, like the classic F-4 Phantom. Reviewing its performance metrics, the FJ-4 Fury was undoubtedly an outstanding carrier-based fighter for its era, a maximum sea level speed of 1,094 km/h, maintaining Mach 0.9 at 10,000 meters altitude, sufficient to effectively intercept most contemporary aerial threats. With auxiliary fuel tanks, its maximum range extended to 3,250 kilometers, and its service ceiling reached 14,300 meters. Its power core was the reliable Wright J65W16, a turbojet engine, delivering 34 kilonewtons of thrust. Armament comprised 4 20mm Colt Mk12 cannons, each loaded with 144 rounds. With high rate of fire and formidable penetration, these weapons proved devastating in both aerial combat and ground attack missions. In summary, the FJ-4 Fury series fighter aircraft represented far more than a mere naval extension of the F-86 Sabre family. Through its innovative aerodynamic design, revolutionary range enhancement, and unprecedented multi-role capabilities, particularly the tactical nuclear strike capability granted to the FJ-4B, it successfully established the developmental paradigm for modern jet-powered carrier-based aircraft. To this day, the 13 surviving FJ-4 fighters remain silent witnesses to the glorious era, when they soared through the skies and forged history.